Hey everyone, welcome to The Real Story with Nathaniel. Our guest tonight is Isha. She's a magician that is setting the world on fire right now. Isha, welcome to our show. You've been booking shows, winning awards, and earning the respect of your peers. And we're really, really glad to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad you can make it. So everybody out there wondering why is Isha on our show? It is for two reasons. She was highly recommended by a former guest. And I saw her webpage. I heard about her, and I think you're seeing somebody, a star in the making, perhaps. Let's just dig in and get to know you. So first off, Isha, is this your first interview?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
We are terrible.
On like a podcast, yeah, or something similar. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm sure the news has probably grabbed you a couple times for comments, right? Or I don't know if you're used to the cameras. So I need to know. I'm curious. I should come out right and tell everybody I have a little bit of magic background myself. When I was younger, I never performed on stage. That's a lot of work, and it's an impressive amount of work. I want to know, how did you first find magic? What was your first remembrance of? Hey, this is a magic trick, or this is fascinating.
Yeah. So it was actually I got into magic. I mean, I did like some like kid tricks out of a magic kit when I was younger, and I didn't really take it seriously. It was just like, a thing that I kind of forgot that I did that, honestly. But when I think I was 10, I went to a summer camp at a school, and like I was a nerd. I was taking math classes and I wanted to. I wasn't forced to do it. And so at that math class over summer, there was like this, they were explaining like an algebraic concept using a card trick, which was weird. And they never really like explained how it worked, but it was just for fun. And we learned this card trick, and it was a card trick that, you didn't really need to know that much skills or anything. You could just do it.
Like a self-solver.
Yeah, exactly. And so I remember watching this card trick, and I remember thinking like, this is so stupid. And I was like, this is not a good magic trick. And I was like, this is, and then after that, I remember like, I completely forgot about it. And 2 months later, I was just bored one day, and I would stay after school a lot because my mom would work late, so I would be in aftercare or whatever. And they had this deck of cards in the aftercare program, and I was like, sure, why don't I like try this trick that I learned that I remember being really dumb. And then I practiced it a few times. I did it on myself, and then I showed it to a few teachers. And then this one teacher who I showed it to, she freaked out, and she was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I was like, this stupid little card trick made that reaction. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then, I started learning some like more magic tricks like that, card tricks on YouTube, and showing her tricks more and other people. And yeah, that's how it got started.
It's interesting that your first experience with magic, outside of the box tricks, which I'm not sure if they ever really work, or like, I know they work, but I don't know if they get people interested in magic so much as like, I don't like magic anymore.
I mean, I've heard people who have gotten into it from there, but I
know people that still like, I've met magicians that still have it, and they think like they say that, yeah, I guess. I know I had 2 sets as a kid and a book that were just so horrible I never wanted to. Like they were bad tricks. But your first real experience, you learned why the first rule of magic exists. If you know how a trick's done, it's stupid. Like,
yeah,
it's no longer magic.
Well, because I mean, it wasn't really the part that I thought it was like the most disappointing was that like it wasn't a good trick. Like the ending was like, oh, it's just the same value or number or something, and I was like, that's just like, it was just not very impressive, and I was just like, this isn't, I was just like, this is kind of. I was like, what's the hype with this? This is played up too much. People need to calm down. Yeah.
I have never really liked self-working tricks or even self-working math. Like, I get that it's cool that it does that thing, but like after the first time or two, like I don't even want to understand why it works. I'm just like, yeah, of course it works. It's math. If I put it in a calculator and broke, it would work. So there are different genres of magic, close-up, stage, card manipulation. What are some of the genres or even subgenres that you're really fascinated by?
Yeah, so in the first like I would say 2-ish years when I was doing magic, I like only did card magic, and I like remember telling my mentor at the time that I was like, I'll only ever do card magic. I won't do anything else. Like I'm never gonna open my mind to anything else. I was so like stuck on card magic, and I loved it so much, and I still do. But then when I got into the junior program at the Magic Castle, then I was like saw all these people doing so many other things, and I was like, oh, there's like a whole world outside of this. And so then I started, learning some rope tricks and coin tricks and other types of stuff. And then eventually I got into stage magic. And yeah, now I don't really care about cards, and I am honestly one of those people who like don't like to put a lot of card tricks in an act, and like when someone does it, I'll be like, I don't like the card trick. So yeah, it's funny how that happens.
No, it is. So I should point out that this is the Magic Castle for everybody listening. Like the Magic Castle. We've had 2 Magic Castle people on our show, Bonnie Gordon and the Cosmic Romantic. So that's technically 3 others, Eric and Elizabeth. Just fantastic people all around. And as somebody who grew up, like around magic, the Magic Castle is a big deal. So, and you're a junior.
Yeah,
in the junior.
They have
That's awesome.
Yeah, they have a junior program. I remember when I first auditioned, I was like, because I knew it was like a huge deal, and I was so nervous, and I practiced like for months on end. And then when because I thought it like someone told me that it would take like 2 weeks to get the letter if I got in or not. And so like I had this image in my brain, and I kept replaying of like seeing like an email notification of like what the results were. And then when I finally like saw that with my own eyes, and I had opened the email and saw that I was accepted, I was uncontrollably crying for like 2 hours. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry to jump in, but like you like, how do you apply? I mean, do you apply for it? Do they have to know you? Is it like somebody like, how does that work? Because that's phenomenal that you're just like, it's like SNL but for magicians, it sounds like.
Yeah. So for the junior member, for the junior society program, you can just put in an application online, and then you have to do an audition process, which happens every 6 months, so twice a year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it is like you go to the castle, that you show up in brunch attire. You do a 5-minute set for the committee and the current junior members, and then afterwards they all are sitting in the room and deliberate whether you get in or not. And then you're not in the room, don't worry, but you
just have to sit there, make eye contact with them, as determine your future on something you love.
Yeah, I was very nervous. Afterwards, I was completely like, I don't know what's happening and whatever.
Right?
People were trying to talk to me, and I was so out of it. And so they do that every 6 months. That's how you get in. Basically, they want to see that you're like not a complete beginner, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's Magic Castle. So you
magic would be cool.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is for like they want to mostly they care about like personality wise, and like if you can like present yourself on stage, which is actually something I struggle with more often. Like in the beginning, especially when I started, I was more into like the technique and like learning the actual stuff.
I did want to ask you about that.
Yeah. So sorry for stealing your question.
No, that's great. No, I love it. There are 2 different types of magicians that I found. There are the ones that are amazing, technical, that do all the things they learn, but then they get on stage. I think that's kind of the Penn and Teller thing, honestly, like where they kind of got their start. Like one was really the bigger showman, wanted to be seen, wanted to be loud, and the other really loved the technique. And just like if obviously you've no doubt spoken with Teller at this point in your life, but like he just was more comfortable knowing the stuff.
You chose the one that doesn't speak.
Like, he does though. Clear. He does.
I mean, I know. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. The irony.
But but he was the technical one, and so that worked because one was more of the show and the other. So when you're on stage solo, though, you have to be both.
Yeah. Definitely. And when I first joined, I like did not. I didn't know anything about performance. I just like knew a card trick, right? And so,
yes.
And honestly, though, at this point, I feel like for me, performance is the most important thing. And I think like I can make, at least, like when I'm trying to think of and brainstorm an act, I don't really think about the technique that much of like what's impressive or whatever, but you know, how to entertain an audience, because I like learned that that's more important than like actually because they, you know, they don't know what you're doing. But
They
yeah,
want to be entertained. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so I kind of learned, I remember, this is really funny. When it was like a year maybe or so after, maybe 2 years after I already had gotten into the program, someone that was on the committee that was like part of the like deliberation team or whatever, had said like on a podcast, she wanted a podcast, and she brought up my name, and she was like, there's this young girl Isha who's in the program, and then she said that like, oh, she like barely got into the program because she was so shy, and I was like, hold on a second.
What?
And I was like, oh no. But then I realized that was mostly because I didn't really have a stage persona, and I didn't really know how to, you know, appear on like have a personality on stage, which is one of the many things that I've learned in the junior program that's helped me grow from that first audition. So
that's what the Magic Castle is for. That's what the local meetings are for. I asked you before the show, but have you also attended the local magician circles and I think that monthly meetups in my area of 2 different groups?
There's the SAM and then the IBM, and then I'm not like members of either of them. I've done like shows for the SAM. Yeah, I think that was I've done shows for the SAM. I've attended like Ring 21 meetings, if you know what that is. I don't know what it's. You know,
for everybody out there watching, these are you're interacting with your peers and above, usually learning and teaching. It's a big learning environment. It's kind of cool. Yeah. If you're into magic, I've been in a room with people who are not into magic, and
who's not into magic? Wait, who are these people, and how can we isolate them from literally everybody else? Because like I've never seen anybody been like, oh, here's a magic trick, and they're like, no, taxes are way better. Like that's crazy. Like.
Let's skip ahead to a question I have for Isha. You've done restaurant strolling, correct?
Yes.
Have you walked up to people who are not into magic?
Yeah, definitely. So I mostly the strolling I do is like for private events, but I've done I'll do like the Escape Hotel in Hollywood for like they have a magic show, and so I'll do that, and that's more like dining. And so for that, I found it really challenging because like when they're ordering and when like they're looking at the menu, there's like this sweet spot in between like they're ordering and then their food coming, because you don't want to like disrupt the waiter or anything. And then I'm always like trying to navigate all the tables, so I'm always just like standing awkwardly in the corner, just like watching everybody. And then
you ready?
Exactly. And then so yeah, I've definitely had people. I'd be like, oh, you're here to watch the magic show? Like, I'm a magician. Do you want to see some magic? And they're like, then they look at me and they're like, no. So it's definitely, you have to deal with rejection a lot, which is a helpful life skill. But, you know, I feel like a lot of it is just because like, if I go up to someone and then like I lose my words a lot, so I'll like stumble and I'll be like, how are you doing, or something, and then maybe that's like, oh, who is this person? She doesn't know what she's talking about. So.
You can always work that into your act, where suddenly like you turn it into like the most confident person in the room with this trick. Hi. By the way, would you like to see this disappear?
Yeah.
The false perception stuff is always fun. Do you remember, I was going to ask you about your first paid gig, but I think it's more interesting. Do you remember the first time you were alone on stage, even if it's at the Magic Castle in front of peers or at the school?
That's a good question. I remember one of the first times I was just performing for family, I guess, when I was doing, you know, just tricks. And it was like, I think I was at my friend's house and she had like 5 or so family members, and it was like a group. So I remember like, you know, feeling, because these people like thought that I was like already legit, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's a magician, she's gonna do a cool magic trick. And so that was kind of intimidating, but you know, it went fine. I remember my first paid gig, it was a kid's birthday party, and those are the most difficult because you have to entertain the kids, which have a low attention span, but you know, they were kids that I had you know, bonded with and were like working with in like school, just a whole nother story. But yeah, so I was more familiar with them, but it took me like a full 30 minutes, just like maybe an hour to set up because I was so nervous and I was so like, I don't know what to do. And all the kids were like looking at my stuff and I was like, I can't do this. Yeah.
But you did the hard thing.
Yeah,
You did it.
never forget
And
that
the great
show.
thing about being nervous is you only have to do it once or twice before you're no longer nervous. Like
Yeah.
once you get through it, you realize where your strengths are and what needs work. Have you ever been caught with a trick that didn't work with no out?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, okay, so this actually happened kind of recently. I've been doing this I've been doing my like 8-minute mentalism thing, which I've been doing at the castle for a few months now, and I've been working on it for like I made it like 2 years ago or something. I've been working it for a long time, and I've done like over 50 shows with this specific act. And this weekend, or like a few weekends ago, when I was doing the castle, it was the last show of the weekend. I was doing 4 shows, and the last
Wow.
show, so there's like 2 numbers that are supposed to match. And that morning I was so tired and I did not have coffee, which was the worst mistake I've ever made. And I just set up my my tricks wrong. And so the numbers, when I was on stage and I realized that the numbers weren't gonna match, and I like freaked out, and I like, because I had no out, and I was like, they're not gonna match. It's not gonna work. It's not like this is
You see the
first-
nose of the plane just going down.
Exactly. And then, this kid made a joke, and I was like trying to play up with the joke because he's like, add a comma, and I was like, I'm having a panic attack right now. And so, that was, I mean, the numbers were close enough because I didn't put in a bunch of random numbers when I was tired, but they were close enough. So I literally had to be like, oh, they're close enough. And then I erased the numbers that were on the whiteboard and then rewrote them to try to match them and be like, no, they match. It's fine. So yeah, that was definitely a hard one.
Comedy is always a great out. As long as you can make them laugh, they're still entertained, yeah. That's, I mean, I don't know how deep you go into magic, but have you heard of the Amazing Jonathan?
Yeah.
I always wondered if he was I heard he actually was a very talented magician, but I loved his outs, like the ones that I always wished my friends had taken, like when I see a trick fail, or like he was the master of the outs. I wish you could hire somebody like that to write your outs when you come up with a routine and a trick. He's like, all right, well, if this happens, these are your 20 different like ways to get out. Because some of those will never ever leave you, which is again, it's a good thing because you learn. But let's go to a favorite trick. And I know most magicians have a favorite trick. And if you stick around after the show, I'm going to teach you my very favorite trick. I'll even teach it in front of these guys so they'll learn it. That you can do almost anywhere. That almost anybody can do. That one has a secret to it. I just wonder if you have a favorite trick. What you don't have to explain how it works or anything like that. That might be like the simplest, dumbest thing, but you just still love it.
Ooh. Well, I guess my go-to trick, or the trick I do the most often when I'm doing strolling or whatever, it's just this card trick with 4 cards. And it's a packet trick. They all look like one card, they all look like another card, and then a final. And I learned that trick pretty early on when I was doing that. I remember like it has a lot of steps and a lot of things that you have to memorize and like order wise and stuff. And it was like the first like most complicated card trick I learned. And I remember like working on it with like for weeks with my mentor. And as soon as I got it, I was so happy. And like, I still do that trick today. Like I did it, today for some teachers. And yeah, so I that's one of my favorite, or like, I guess it's my most go-to trick with just a deck of cards. So yeah.
I love it. Mine is a dice reveal where you hold a die in your hand and you show like 2 different sides and then you keep doing it, but it's a different number on the bottom. It's the simple, it's the dumbest. You probably know it just thinking about it. Like it's similar to the paddle tricks. I like those because they're so stupid simple and they work just well. But yeah, I've never shied away. I was I preferred mentalism when I was doing stuff because I just liked the idea, but I was also I guess at the time you'd call it a follower of Penn and Teller, whereas I never wanted to lie to people that I actually had mental powers. So I never quite knew how to build an act around it, which is the hardest part, I think, of a quality magician is you build a world around the trick. You build a world around yourself and you bring it all in front of people. And what would you say is the most satisfying part of doing a trick for you? Like there's some people love fooling people. Some people love that they brought them back to a childhood, a part of wonder. What do you, when you're done with the show and you remember a person or two, what is your favorite part about that evening?
Yeah, so definitely fooling people is always, a great thing, but and it's originally what first got me into it. But I feel like now it's definitely more of like getting to know people and connecting with people because like
Okay.
I'm a pretty introverted person if in my normal life, and I don't really talk to people. But I want, for me, when I perform, it's like, like this is kind of a different person that is okay to talk to people, and I can ask people how they're doing, and how their day's going, and if they want to see a card trick or whatever. And it's easier than like being at school and trying to raise my hand and talk to like participate in a discussion. So it's definitely and like a way for me to like help come out of my shell, which is probably honestly doing magic and meeting people is like my most like escape, I guess you could say, and it helps me bring me out of my shell a lot. So that's what I most enjoy about it.
I love that, and it's it is easier when you're a character. I'm not saying you're a character when you're performing, but like you take on a persona that I'm here to do a job. I'm here to do this, and that's really what I think a lot of us do in our 9-to-5 jobs. We are a professional at work. We go home and we're really us, and that's why sometimes work can be tough because we're not as gregarious and outgoing as we are at work all the time. So it's tough. So I think it's something else I like to stress to people that it is work. You're not having a great time all the time. It's you're putting work into hours every day into mastering a trick or keeping it fresh. I think Josh had a question that kind of pertains here about practice related stuff. Josh, go ahead.
I was just curious what you think the best way to practice sleight of hand is.
Ooh, the best way to practice sleight of hand. Just do it a bajillion times. Like do it as much as you can until you get the hang of it. Sorry, was that?
I was hoping there was a shortcut.
You think bullying, Josh? You think her answer was going to be bullying?
What?
No, sorry.
He's joking with Josh. No, what we're wondering, it sounds like we also lost you a little bit there.
Sorry, I was like out of it.
He was wondering what techniques you do in that, like any things that help get you to the result you want faster. Like, do you do like an hour a night until you're sore and tired of it? Do you use a mirror? When do you reveal it to friends, or who's the first person you even try to fool with it?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I completely misunderstood. I'm sorry.
And then Dan was making fun of Josh for bullying you about the answer.
Okay. So yeah, I usually, it's hard with school. I really wish I could dedicate more time. But like with homework and everything, it's kind of a lot. Usually I always have like new ideas of like a new act that I want to make, or something I want to work on. So I'll usually work on go on my computer and work on the scripting or practicing the one sleight, for that. I try to dedicate as much time, if I have free time, then I'll do it. But mostly for me, the practice, I guess, comes in like doing a show, because that's like what I'm actually like actively learning. And, that's like, the thing is like, for me, I have a lot of ideas and things that like I want to put in a show or like do. But then it's like, it's so much like time outside of like what I have to like put that together. And then like practice, I guess, I usually show my mom like whatever I'm working on, if it's like just a trick or something, and then I usually take it to like the junior meetings and then workshop it there or something. So yeah.
Okay. So it is a lot of work, even if it's a trick that you have all the information about, learning how to doing it is a hard part. And then, like you said, you are creating a world around it. There's a theme, there's a story, there's patter, there's all kinds of things to a trick that every magician, it reflects them. What kind of themes do you use in your magic? Is it a fantasy theme? Is it a science theme? Is it a comedy? How would you describe your act usually?
Yeah. So the act that I've been working on, that I made like 2 years ago, that the stage act that I do at the castle, that is mostly themed around connection, meeting new people, saying hi to people. So that's what kind of when I first got into like doing more shows, I really wanted to focus more on was the connection aspect of it, and just like making a whole routine out of it. But the more I've like been doing that, the more I like actually, instead of just talking about connection, actually just like meeting people and talking to them instead of just talking about it. So I now I'm trying to like develop more of a character than just, you know, a different version of myself. So you know, I'm trying to develop a character that kind of plays with the audience more, and like I guess connects in that sort of way. So I guess that's what I'm working on right now in terms of themes, I guess.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. Like it's more of more interaction and more like me meeting you, and I guess with your age as well. Whenever you're interacting with people, there's preconceptions about who you are and what you're gonna do and what you're like, and you can really play off a lot of that too. You know who you are; they don't. It's the best part. I'm not gonna push you to name your favorite magicians. Everybody has them, and then somebody gets offended because they weren't mentioned. Or, but what I am going to ask you is, you had people in your life that have inspired you, pushed you. Obviously, your mom. You've mentioned her a couple times here, and I think in all the interviews I've done with young people coming up, with people who have made it, the one thing in common is family support. It's such a huge benefit to get you to practice, to get you the materials, to watch what you're doing, to give you good advice. Good family, I think, it has been the theme through a lot of our shows. Outside of your mom and family, who are some people that you would like to just call out as having got you here, got you level-headed and going forward?
Yeah. So in terms of, I mean, there's a lot of different categories.
Oh yeah, just magic and getting on stage and
So magicians, I would definitely say my go-to answer for this is Carissa Hendricks and Rachel Wax. For those who don't know, Carissa is the person that is behind Lucy Darling, who's been going viral all over the internet. And then Rachel Wax is a local magician in New York, and so they both have been very inspiring to me. I usually connect more with female magicians just because like the experience is so different, and they both like helped me. And you know, I remember like I had a mentor for a few years, and you know, we paid him, and you know, he was a great help. And then I remember like Rachel was the first person that like I reached out for help, and I was like, no, I'm happy to pay you, like this is how it's supposed to go. And she's like, no, like I'm here to help you. And so I was like, oh, she was like the first person that actually helped me. Yeah, that helped me like start putting my act together. And then they're both just like amazing people and supportive. So yeah.
That's awesome. I like to get people called out for like getting, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, I did want to mention that this came up when I was interviewing, I think, Bonnie Gordon, that it's so amazing and wonderful to see women in magic so much more now, with instead of just the sidekick or the assistant, actual performers showing, and I love it. I love it. There's so much more quality going out there, and I think, and dare say even professionalism sometimes. It's like, I don't know. It's great to see. So I'm glad you're out there, and I totally get connecting with female magicians because they're the ones. The generation you're working with are the ones who broke some of that ground, and so you're learning from some of the best, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you is magic your end goal? Do you have other things you like doing that you're also pursuing, or are you going to be a lawyer?
No, I'm not going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
But I love working with kids. I love I guess teaching in a sense. I've taught a few like things. For a long time I thought I wanted to do that. But then I've been thinking about it more, and you know, more experience with magic, and I realized that I'm truly like my happiest self when I'm performing magic. And I was like, this is like kind of what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm, you know, for me right now, at least it's my end goal. You know, I still have some years. So, but
it's what you want now.
I mean,
okay.
Sorry.
As I say, the great thing about change is you can change anytime. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
so if this is what you want right now, and if it changes when you're 40 or 50 or 20, it doesn't matter what you want right now, is very important.
Yeah, and I'll definitely like I want to like go to college and study like child and human development, and maybe do teaching or social work or something like that for a few years. But always I can't imagine my life without magic. I'll always keep it on the side or something. And if one day I'm in a position to go full time, that would be amazing.
I think you will. I really do. This sort of drive and this love of something this early and knowing, I think you will. That sets you apart. I know you work with a lot of you learn with a lot of others who younger magicians who have the same drive, and I hope they all make it too. By the way, I just are you the kind of magician that you practice on your friends?
Ooh, that's a good question. So my friends, so I don't have most of my like the people that I spend the most time with are like adults, which is like teachers that I've had, which when I was younger, I just like became closer, and for a long time I had a difficulty making like connections with people, like other like peers my age. But in terms of like magician friends, I definitely practice and run things through with them. School friends, not so much. I feel like I try to keep my school and my magic life kind of separate. There's I don't know. I sometimes I'll do a trick or so for them. It really depends. I'm not. Yeah.
It's the worst environment because then like do another one or do it again or give me those cards. Yeah. It's not a good environment to do magic. It's and then if you don't do what they say, you're being there's no win. There's no win in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kids are difficult. I don't know. Teenagers might be a little bit easier, but I don't know. I just yeah. No, okay. Never mind.
Kids will ignore you. Teenagers will try to ruin your act.
Oh my God. Hey, Nathaniel, we actually got a question in chat, Josh. If you
awesome.
want to
what do we got?
That up. Yeah.
Skyma, you brought up Carissa Hendricks. Do you see yourself developing a stylized persona like Lucy Darling or a character closer to your real self? That's from Skyma. Thanks for the question, Skyma.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, Lucy is definitely like a completely different person than Carissa, and that's a whole different persona. I don't think I want to be like constructing a whole different human being. I've, knowing Carissa and having met Lucy, I'm like, I'm not talking to the same person. They just exist in the same body, which is insane. She's incredible. So I think for me, I don't think I would go that elaborate. I don't have that much experience in character work, and she's done a lot of character stuff. So I think I would do something closer to like my real self. So something kind of in the middle. I've taken like a character workshop with her before, and that was really helpful in finding like the balance between like making a full character versus like a lot of magicians just do like a little bit of an exaggerated version of themselves, which is a little bit what I want to do, but alter some things and play with different stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question. Great answer. When you, I had a question right here at my, and I was wondering, what do you like most about stage magic? Is it, do you bring people up on the stage with you, or is it like that you are in control sort of thing? What do you like about that versus, say, even strolling?
I mean, I don't know. I like to bring people up. I mean, in the current stage act that I do, there's like a ball that goes around, so we get to talk to a few different people in the crowd. And I bring someone up. Yeah, I like. I don't know. I originally got into stage just because the junior program was like, all of our juniors who perform stage are graduating, so we need more people to perform stage. And I was like, oh, cool. This is only 7 minutes in compared to the like 18 minutes we have to do for close-up. So, and that's, that's kind of the only reason that I got started with it. But now it's just kind of like I love close-up and too, because it's like, more intimate and you get to like know people more. But yeah, I don't know. I like stage just because like, you get to meet more people, I guess. And, after the show, they'll like come and talk to you, which and more connections and just like meeting more people. So, yeah.
Cool. So close up stage or mentalism, We all know the magician's code. You never reveal how a trick's done. But what are your personal codes with performance? What do you do or not do? What is like, I will never do that in my act. I will never represent myself like that. What are some of your rules?
Ooh.
Even the positive ones. Like, I always want this in an act, or I always want to show this.
Yeah, that's a good question. Something I'll never do, or like a rule. I guess. I mean,
we can always switch it to. Go ahead. I say if we want, we could switch it to what makes a trick the most appealing to you. I want to learn that because.
I guess this is a good question. I guess I don't want to make it feel like it's about me. Like, oh, I'm here to show you my skills and whatever. I guess a rule of thumb is like it's like I am here to like try to like make your day just a little bit better and to like maybe entertain you or something. And so, I kind of think of it as like I'm there for them. I'm not there for me. And, while I'm also there, I'm also, entertaining myself, and it is fun for me, but it's like, that's not my main priority. And I guess maybe that.
I like it. It's the big theme of what you do. It is, I'm an entertainer. Like, a lot of people miss that. They get up on stage. It feeds their ego. It feeds, their wallet. But like, it's, some people miss out that people are paying for this and they want to be entertained, and they're counting on you. Like, for a lot of people, giving up an evening a week, an evening a month is a lot. And then some of these places aren't the cheapest, or the event, did cost a lot. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's great that you have the mentality that you want them to enjoy themselves, because it puts a lot of pressure on you. And it's great that you take it willingly. People need to understand that with performers. I'm always gracious. If I'm in a bad mood and there's a strolling magician or even a musician or even at karaoke, you give everybody the respect because they're doing something that you're not. It's probably something hard for them.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that you have that I want to give back for them giving me the time. Do you have, without breaking the code, a trick you can teach us?
Ooh. I mean,
you don't have to.
I didn't really break anything. I mean, there's the good old thumb trick. You probably know this one.
That counts.
Wait. I'm trying to remember this one. Something like, hey.
Oh my gosh. Bravo.
Wait. Oh no. And the linking rings. I always had the linking rings, but I always get them stuck. Hold on. I don't know. 3-year-olds love that one. Those are my go-tos. I always have them on hand to get it.
Yeah, nice.
Josh is actually smiling. I think he's the pun guy. Back when I was younger, we had books, and one of my favorite parts about being in a magic store was going into the book section, and just some of these books I think were published in the 40s or printed in the 40s. There's some old. You feel like you're in an ancient library in some of these places. Now we actually had DVDs. I imagine now you watch YouTube and other streaming services. Who are some of the people you do like to watch that you think are quality channels that at least entertain you at the very least?
Oh, like YouTube channel? I mean, I don't. When I was first starting,
you don't know the names. I don't know the names of a lot of people I watch either, but
I mean, so back to your book point, there are a lot of books that come out, and a lot of people use books still. Don't worry.
Oh, good. It's been a while since I've been at a shop, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mostly use books, I guess, videos and tricks buying or whatever. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't really watch YouTube videos in terms of learning tricks that much anymore. But I remember this one channel when I was first starting out that like helped me learn all of my card tricks. I think it was called A Million Card Tricks. It has a fairly good amount of videos and stuff, and they kind of he put out magic tricks like pretty much every week or so, and there was like a lot of material there, and that's kind of how I first got in. Yeah, I guess that's a good channel though.
Okay, cool. We have another audience question and an ambulance.
Now time to play the game. Whose audio is that coming from? Let's go. It's all Josh. Let's just
It's all Josh. Eva, do you think there's a main lesson that magic has taught you? I love that question. Thank you, Eva.
Yeah. So let's see, a main question or a main lesson. I think that being like, I guess a big thing that I'm learning from magic is like, I guess more of like myself and who I want to be in the world. And, you know, it's the most like cliche teenager thing of like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I am or whatever.
I don't get that sense from you. I think you have an idea who you are.
Well, okay, so that's what people say, but I'm still like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life and I don't know who I am. But
you know, that part doesn't go away, but I think you know who you are, not necessarily what you're gonna do or all that stuff. Like,
okay. Yeah. But I guess I'm trying to, I don't know, find who more I want to be and being in this world, I guess. And you know, talking to people, it's definitely a lesson that magic's taught me. You know, learning how to engage with people. And you know, I see a lot of teenagers my age struggle to like talk to people out in public, which is, you know, so I'm like, so it's definitely helped me out, at least. So yeah, I guess that's the lesson. And
also, by the way, you're killing it here. Your personality is shining. You're bright. You're fun. You're engaging. So if your peers have a problem talking to people, you've absolutely mastered the skill. So for your first time in a talk show, and I hate calling it out, you're doing fantastic. So thank you. We're getting close to like, you know, kind of wrapping it up here, but I want to know, do you have any tricks that like you have invented or modified to a point where you're like, that's the way I do it? You don't have to tell me what they are, but just if you've reached that point, because I know the first time you, or a very unique presentation you don't think anybody else has done with an existing trick. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like nuances in like the way that you use technique, but it's generally the same presentation. But I think that I'm working on this act right now that's mostly centered around music and using records and like going through like different eras of music. And so that, I guess, is like applying more of like, you know, I use like cards of like album covers and stuff. So I guess applying card techniques to something like that. Diana Zimmerman did a very similar act back in, you know, when like, I don't know, something years ago. But she,
you gotta be careful with 8 years with people.
Sorry. But she was amazing. I mean, she still is. So she's helping me out with putting that act together. It's yeah, it's mostly about music, and I guess that's a little bit different than you know, people don't see records nowadays. And yeah.
Being my age, I have to make the joke. Do you know what records are, kids? But everybody knows what records are now.
Yeah.
I have to go more esoteric. Do you know what an 8-track is? See, gotcha. No. I want to get word out that you're taking bookings. We can get the website up so people can find out how to reach you. It's in the bottom corner as well. IshaMagic.com. Check it out. And learn more about her. Are there places that you have booked that people can see you at now, or there are public performances at the Magic Castle? Anything? I want to drive people to your events.
Thanks. I currently don't have anything on the calendar for the castle upcoming. I sometimes do strolling at the Escape Hotel. I try to come on Fridays. That's not like an as consistent thing. Yeah, there's not really any. I mostly do private events or the castle. So yeah.
And you do corporate events, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Remember that, corporate directors and entertainment bookers. Isha is amazing. It's been fantastic talking to you. I'm walking away from this conversation knowing I'm going to talk to you again when you're doing bigger and more and just taking over the world. So thank you for giving us this insight now. We have a bookmark on you that we're going to watch as you keep writing these chapters of your life, and it's going to be amazing. So thank you for your time. It's been great having you here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, keep watching the show, like, subscribe. It really does help us out. We have more things coming up. We'll check out our Instagram and YouTube for the links and information on that stuff. Unless, Josh, you have something ready to pop up, which we didn't discuss earlier, and it's all on me.
That show prep.
Show prep, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey!
Hey, Devo Spice.
Devo Spice is going to be amazing. Comedy, rapper, actor. He's done a lot of stuff. The redheaded stepson of Weird Al. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really good. We have another redheaded rapper coming up as well.
I
We're
was
gonna
going to say a
surprise
lot
you
of
with.
redheaded rappers. What is going
It's a
on,
thing
guys?
now.
What are we
It's
doing?
a thing now. So that's
Super
next
terrible.
week. And then we have Bill Slevin coming up in October. Oh wow, we're in sync now, Josh. Bill Slevin, it's his third appearance. He's our famous ghost hunter. He has a new book out. We're going to talk about his book. We're going to talk about his experiences this past year. And as you know, somebody new owns a certain doll that we've mentioned a couple times on this show as well. So we're going to delve into that a little bit. And that's probably the last slide we have up. Right, Josh? Yeah, I get the nod. He's not even turning his mic on for this.
Can we at least
Isha,
say what the doll is so that way that's less ominous? Like the
those who care know. It's a scary
Okay.
doll. How about that? That's a.
it has movies made about it. I think we should probably tag that in there.
Should
but
we?
yeah, sure.
You talk about it.
I have Annabelle, the Annabelle doll. The
I'm not
one
mentioning
famous.
the name. She's coming after us.
Really? Do we believe in
No.
that now? Is that a thing we do? I mean, I'm all for it. Like, let's go. Like, but I don't think that's a thing.
I know people who absolutely do and have been terrified.
Matt Rife
so
actually bought the doll, so yeah.
we're going to talk about old Matt. And he's still here, so I don't know what that curse is all about. Isha, thank you so much. We are going to get back to you and say our goodbyes. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, watching us. Support everybody who's been on the show. I feel fortunate to have had you here. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Be safe. Josh.